My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need! And I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, what's going on, peoples? It is about that time to finally, and I cannot emphasize that word enough. I cannot emphasize that word enough. Finally, do my personal low review for a game that's really been getting killed out here in these streets, really by the major media outlets. You know, Days Gone. Time to do my review for this junk. I have a lot to say about this game. Notice I didn't even do my review yet. You know, I tried. Well, one thing, I'm trying to get back into doing reviews because I just haven't been doing them. Just haven't been doing them lately. If we being real about it. So yes, I do have a lot to say about Days Gone. A lot of people have been asking me, you know, on Twitter and stuff like, "Yo, what's your opinion of Days Gone?" Because I haven't got it yet because, you know, it's so like, you know, there's so many mixed reviews on this game right now. Like, some people like really like it, and then, you know, of course, the scores that are out, there's like, should I really get this game or not? Hopefully this review can help you. My review for Days Gone is it actually feels good to say this. Days Gone, is it worth the 60 bones? Where do I even begin with this game, dude? Like, honestly, where do I even pick up? Is the game as bad as the scores are making it seem? You know, because again, and I'm mainly talking for the major media outlets. I have seen, you know, from like PlayStation sites and stuff, it's gotten like 8s and 8.5s, but it's PlayStation sites. These suckers is biased as free. You know, so I don't think it's that bad as some reviewers are making it, you know, seem in their reviews. But I can very well understand how someone can give a game like this a 6. I've been seeing a lot of, for lack of a better word, Sony ponies defend this game. Like, it's like, oh no, this game is amazing. No. This game got flaws, dude. Flaws. So the story in Days Gone, you know, you're playing as a guy named Deacon, you know, there's an accident that happens. Again, this is a zombie. This is a zombie game. Most of the way, you know, these stories starts out, we've seen done like 1,000 times over. So there's really not really nothing special to mention about the story. I wasn't expecting nothing groundbreaking from this story. I just wanted something that I could get into. And that's where it comes in to where this game is long. This is a And it's one of those not necessarily good longs, because again, when you have a story game only and there's no multiplayer, you kind of do have to substitute, you know, that story into being long, or, you know, have like a lot of missions in the story because there's no multiplayer. So with Days Gone, I felt like a lot of this story is filler, especially the beginning. Bruh, I've never, and I was saying this junk, you know, I actually had to stop streaming this game because literally every time I streamed it, my whole chat was just, it was like a Days Gone slander session. Just people just crapping on, even the most wholesome viewers was like, yo, this game ass. One reason why I felt like this story dragged for so long is because they kind of do this thing, which I really started to hate it after a while. I really did. They do this thing with this continued backstory of Deacon and his wife Sarah, you know, because going back to the beginning, you know, Sarah gets injured. I think she gets stabbed or something like that. So Deacon is trying to get her to safety, and then he knows some person that's on this chopper. So she goes on the chopper because the chopper is supposed to be, you know, getting out of the city and going to like one of the base camps or something like that, you know, to get away from all of the chaos. And Deacon stays with his friend Boozer in the city because, you know, they got some stuff to do, whatever. So you never really know if Sarah dies or not. So you're constantly trying to figure that out. Is Sarah alive or is she dead? And it's hard to do stuff like that, especially if, like, you are not really all that way invested into the characters. I'm barely invested in Deacon. You think I care about his wife? Like, I really did it, bro. And it is hard. That's where stuff like that, you know, works. When you're actually, like, invested and, you know, into these characters and into the storyline. But at the beginning, you're not. So when they're constantly doing these backstory missions, and I'm talking about this show sometimes goes like 5-10 minutes of them just walking and talking, and you have to sit there and take it. So it's just like, bro, there was so many missions like that. I think it's called Getting Over My Past. I think that's what like the storyline mission is called. Another thing I felt like kind of messed up the story just with how the pacing was is there's like a lot of like storylines going on. So there's like a lot of like missions that kind of have their own little like sub stories in it. And it's like at times there's like, you know, sometimes 6 to 8 to 10 different storyline missions that you can do. So you have like the main missions, like the main story missions, but it's kind of like you also kind of have to do those sub stories because it's like, you know, important insight of like what happens in like the future, you know, going in the story. So it's like they had like a lot of storyline missions that I felt like kind of interrupted the flow of it. I wouldn't even really call them side missions. Like I guess some of them are side missions, but some of those storyline missions were like, you know, they do play a part in like the story, like the Nero research missions. Those play a part in the stories, and at times you have like the main storyline missions and like sub stories going on all at the same time. The game is long, and that's good because it is single player only. But I'm not even joking. This junk takes at least. I'm not even kidding. This junk takes it, I swear, it literally felt like I was playing this game for like 20 plus hours before the story really started to pick up. This story drags in the beginning. Holy crap, this story drags. I'm like, bro, I had to put at least, bro, I'm not even kidding, because after I stopped streaming it, I was playing this junk a lot, like a lot, and I'm like, bro, this junk just doesn't end. It just doesn't end, bro. Again, like, if it's a single player game only, you would want it to be, you know, kind of lengthy because, you know, it's substituting having no multiplayer. But just because your story is long, it doesn't always mean it's good. And I felt like this jump was dragging so hard, bro. Like, there was times where I was playing this jump and I'm like, bro, this story is literally going nowhere. Jump was dragging. I cannot stress that enough. But maybe like it's crazy to say this, but maybe like 15 hours into the story, maybe like 12. I swear to God, it felt like that because, you know, you're doing like side missions and stuff like that. I just don't do like just nothing but the story missions. Like I'm actually trying to play the game, you know, and experience the full game. So I'm doing like different stuff. So 12 to 15 hours in the game, all of a sudden the story actually does start to pick up. It starts to get better. They do have some decent characters in this game. I felt like Deacon, you know, he's an okay character, you know. There's a few characters that I kind of did enjoy seeing on screen, but I can't even remember their names. I can't even remember their names, bro. Boozer, I like Boozer, you know, that's like Deacon's best friend. But there's like a lot of characters in this game because you go to a lot of camps in this game, and that's kind of, you know, I guess getting into the gameplay. A lot of this game is like you go to one camp and you literally feel like an errand boy in this game. Like, you go to one camp and you're just doing errands for people. You're like, you know, going on runs for people and then trying to collect stuff. And then you leave that, and then you leave that camp, and then you go to the next camp, and then you're their errand boy. And it's like rinse and repeat. Go to one camp, errand boy. Go to next camp, you're the errand boy. Go to your next camp, errand boy. And it kind of felt like that's, you know, that's actually one thing I didn't enjoy about this game. Because it started to get repetitive. And again, the mission, it wasn't just the story. The missions take a while to pick up. Like, I have so much to say. I actually have to look at, I have so much to say about this game. The missions were dragging. Because literally, like, there's a lot of missions, especially those Nero research missions, to where, like, you have to, you know, go out, and then, you know, there's these researchers, you know, out in the fields, and they're trying to, you know, study the freakers. There's a lot of stuff like that to where you have to sneak up to them and, like, listen in on the conversation. I don't know how many times I did that exact mission. Like, go here, stealth, get close to the researcher and listen to their conversation, or go to their chopper and then you got to put a GPS on the chopper. There's so many catch and retrieve missions to where someone gets lost and then you have to go find and save them. The beginning of this game, I feel like, especially if you got a short attention span, I feel like a lot of people can't get through that, because it literally, I was at one point I was willing myself to continue playing this game. That's again why I say some of the, even though, you know, this game was getting harsh reviews from some people, oh no, I can definitely see why, you know, some people were giving this game this score, because it should never take that long for a game to get good. Like, if I have to play your game for, hell, even 8 hours before it starts to get good, oh no, that's a problem. Going back to the camps, you know, with the whole camp aspect, you know, it wasn't horrible, but I just thought it could have been done better. You got to invade like a lot of camps, you know, called ambush camps, to where, you know, you got other people out there, you know, of course, trying to like ambush people for their supplies and stuff like that. Like stuff like that, I actually do think the concept of what they were trying to do with the ambush camps and just the camps, I get it, but the way it was executed, it could have been executed better. So you kind of do, and with the whole, my God, I forgot about this, the whole trust aspect. So when you get to, you know, each camp, you know, the more errands you do for them, the camp starts to get more trust in you. And, you know, then when you get more trust with that camp, you can, you know, buy better weapons from that camp and stuff like that. So as you're doing errands for each camp, your trust meter starts to build up, and it like goes from trust 1 to trust 2 to, I think, trust 3 is the max. And it literally feels like it takes so long to build up that trust thing, because it's like, as you're doing these missions, like, it builds up slowly. And it's just like, I'm trying to get this weapon that they got, but you have to be at like trust 2. And it takes, that's why I felt like you're kind of forced to play these missions that get so repetitive in the game, because you're trying to get your trust to like trust 2 to get this gun that you want. This is actually my biggest issue with this game. The AI. The enemy AI. Let me say that. Well, the human AI. Let me say that. Because I actually think, like, the freaker AI is more smart than the actual humans. Bro. I'm going to show y'all clips while...
Might be useful. Who was that? Someone's...
I didn't know it was 2.
Fire! Fire!
Bro, bro, the AI in this game is...
Hey! Come out! I just want to talk! Always looking for anyone who can use a gun. Yeah, keep on running around!
Someone's hit! He shot me! Oh!
Yeah, keep on running around.
Hey, man. Get in here. Cover me. Shot me! Lisa, retreat! Coming for you. They are free!
I don't know what went wrong with the human AI in this game. Really just the AI in general, but the human AI especially. These suckers, bro, are retarded. Like, there's no other way around it, bro. The AI in this game, you know how when Last of Us came out, and some people was complaining about the Last of Us AI. The Last of Us AI is not even bad. It's bad towards your partner. It's not bad towards you. Like, it's bad towards, you know, Tess or like Ellie, whatever. It's not bad towards you. It was bad towards like your AI partner. You don't have no partner in this game, so it's strictly just you. And there were so many times to where I'm literally next to a guy, and I'm aiming my gun down at him, and he's just in cover, and they're just like, "Where is he?" And I'm like, "Right here." Bro, the AI, I have so many clips where I just couldn't believe how bad the AI was. This is, I have to say, this entire generation, I've never seen AI this bad. I don't know what went wrong. You know, I definitely do think this game could have used another delay, but they had to get this junk out quick because, again, you can't, you could not drop a game like this when people know the release date of Last of Us. And if it was releasing near that, this game would have had no shot. So they had to get this game out soon. I think they dropped the ball on like a lot of stuff that they was trying to do in this game. You know, like I mentioned, the camps and stuff like that, and trying to invade the camps. I thought the idea was good, but the way they executed it wasn't really that good. They have an enemy in this game called the Rippers, and the Rippers are people, you know, as, you know, different groups, you know, are trying to adapt to this new world that they live in. You know, they start to take on their own way of life and their own ideas and stuff like that. So you have this group of people called Rippers, and they kind of look up to the Freakers. They kind of sort of want to be them, and they try to act like them and stuff like that. But they're human, and they cut themselves. So they have like cut marks like all over themselves. And I liked that idea. Like, I thought they could have did so much more with them than what they did, because they were actually scary. But I felt like I actually felt like the story should have been more focused on them, but it wasn't. They had some good parts with them, but most of the stuff was like invade this camp with Rippers and take and you know, take over their camp and stuff like that.
Follow Carlos and be one with him.
I tremble at their presence. I worship. Only they.
Have to go look. No one is joining you! Hey, look, now you're found, yeah?
You're gonna like it there, kid. It's like I said, Iron Mike, he likes to yell a lot. Look, don't let him bother you. You got that?
Yeah. Why don't you find the path?
The stuff that I liked about Days Gone. First off, the game looks good. The graphics in this game look good, man. It looks good, you know, as you're on your bike driving and you're seeing all the stuff pass by you, you know, all the trees, and you're like driving by freakers and, you know, freaking cars left on the road and stuff like that. The game looks amazing, especially, you know, based on what time of day is it, because, you know, it has this dynamic weather, you know, change in the game. So like based on what time it is and stuff like that, the game looks, in my opinion, the game looks great. You know, Days Gone, the graphics look great. I like the whole survival aspect of the game. You know, again, when it comes to like games like this and like apocalyptic games, I love, you know, when they really try to focus on like the survival aspect of it. That's one thing I loved about The Last of Us, just with how you had to like pick up some item to like craft something to, you know, you just use all items to your advantage in the game. I like the survival aspect in this game. You know how you can, you know, break under the car hood and like take parts and then use that part to, you know, put on your bike, or like use that part to, you know, change, you know, a weapon you have and stuff like that. I like stuff like that. The whole gas aspect of this God, at one point this junk really was like irking me. I'm like, I get it, but this junk is stupid, because as you're riding on your bike, the bike is like your main, you know, transportation in this game. You know how in Red Dead Redemption you go everywhere on horse, and Days Gone you go everywhere on your bike. So the bike is really a vital aspect. You know, the bike in Days Gone is really a vital part to this game. So you can upgrade your bike and stuff like that. You can upgrade the tires, you can change the look, you can change the exhaust, you can add nitrous to your bike, stuff like that. Like, the bike is really like a big part of this game. But you also have to always refuel your bike, so you can actually like it runs out of gas in this game. You know, if you crash it too much, you destroy your engine and you have to repair it, or you have to refuel your bike. So there was a lot of times, like really when I like was getting used to the game, to where I was running out of gas and I'm literally on the highway running, I kid you not, for like 10 plus minutes looking for a gas can. And I'm just like, yo, I get it. They're trying to make it seem like realistic if we was in like a world like this, but the jump was getting annoying. But once you get used to it, just how you have to keep your eye on like how much gas you have left, and then, you know, if you get low on gas, hey, you better stop by this gas station that you know that you're passing by. It's kind of like, I get they were trying to be realistic with it, but at the same time, it's like, if you're in an apocalypse like this, you can't just stop by the gas station and get gas. That's literally what you do in this game. When you need gas, you just stop by the gas station and get gas and stuff like that. So it was stuff like that kind of took a while to adjust to, but I like it because, you know, it just adds like that, you know, survival aspect to it. So there's like stuff like that where, you know, you have to like pay attention to like the little things in this game that I did, like, you know, the whole crafting system and stuff like that, and how you can craft, you know, all these different, you know, weapons and stuff. I liked it. The hordes are easily, in my opinion, the best part about this game. That's really what everyone knows about that even doesn't have this game, is the hordes. That's the first thing we seen when this junk was revealed, the hordes in this game, and how all the freakers, you know, was chasing you and stuff like that. The hordes are definitely the best part of this game. When they start chasing you and then that music crank, I love it. I love the horde music that they put in this game, because it really does make you feel like, oh my god, like it does make it feel intense. The hordes are actually difficult in this game. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, I know when they first showed off the game, like, it didn't really look like it was hard to deal with the hordes. No, you better be upgraded before you take on the horde. Because it literally took me, like, I remember the first horde encounter I had in this game. I couldn't beat them, and I started to avoid the hordes. And I'm like, I'm not going to win. You know, so I started to. The hordes are actually no joke to deal with in this game. Like, you better have enough, you know, bullets. You better have enough, you know, like stuff to use around in your environment. You better know like what shortcuts you can take, you know, just in case they get too close. Like the hordes, I actually do like how not only does the music crank when they, you know, come into the equation, but you actually do kind of have to be on like your feet, you know, while playing against the hordes, because they actually are kind of difficult to deal with, and you kind of do have to, you know, have some upgraded weapons and equipment to really like feel like you can take them on with confidence in this game. So the hordes are easily the best part about Days Gone. I love the way they did it, and I think that's pretty much all I have to say about the game. This is a very flawed game, like I said, and in the beginning it does drag for a while. It does drag for a while, but if you do stick with it, it does slowly start to get better. It's not this horrible dumpster juice type game that you may think it is. It's not that bad. It's just, like I said, in the beginning, this junk drags. It takes a while for this game to pick up. I wish it, you know, got better better more quickly, but it gets better like at a slow pace. I'm gonna give this game a 7 out of 10 for my personal score. I know with the times we live in now, if you give the game a 7, you might as well be giving the game a 3. But no, like a 7 is still a good score, you know, but you know how it works these days, you know, with review scores. But I'm giving the game a 7. I don't know if Sony Bend, you know, studio, if they plan on doing a sequel to this game, because again, going to something like The Order, a lot of people didn't like The Order, but you can see the potential that that game has. Like The Order, you can, like, that's why people want a sequel, because they feel like the sequel will be so much better. Not to the same level with Days Gone. Not to the exact same level with Days Gone. Like, I felt like The Order was a really good game. It was just short. I feel like Days Gone is a decent game, but like I said, it fell short of a lot of things that I thought that they were trying to do in this game, just with like the concepts and the ideas that they had. I feel like this game has a lot of potential though. So that's what I have to say about Days Gone. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. What are your thoughts about Days Gone? If you have been playing the game, if you didn't get the game yet, let me know if this review helped you, stuff like that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Till then, catch you on my next one, alright? Peace.